Last day of 2018, taking the dogs for a walk, thinking about the podcast, and ready to roll today. Got wrestling practice, I'm gonna stop by the classroom, and then we'll see what's up after that. I don't know about this shoes and socks combination. So I've got a little Measure D update. They're building the swimming pool out here a little north of the old gym, or the new gym. I don't know what this one's called. It's looking pretty good. All right, here we are. This is Jesse. Let's see, this is the first episode of the Healthy Self podcast for 2019. This is technically the year in review right now, or actually, no, it's not even a year in review. It's my 2019 preview. I should probably read from the actual script that I had there. So I've got some things that I'm pretty excited about for coming up this year. One of the things that I really want to make sure I do is to collaborate with people. And so I've got a list of people that I want to collaborate with for this Healthy Self podcast, where I do reflections and discussions and ideas related to health. So here's my list of people. I've got Amy on here from, let's see, what is she running right now on Instagram? It's Dancing with ED, having discussions around healthy eating habits. Let's see, we also have Grace on here. And why do I want to talk with Grace? She works for the tobacco behavioral health portion locally here in San Luis Obispo. So I'd like to speak with her again about creating a campaign to help people stop vaping and smoking. Let's see, I have Michael Moore on here from the Bodywork Institute, and tomorrow he and I are putting on the Peer to Plunge 5K, so that'll be pretty fun. Let's see, I'd like to talk with Rex. He's a local chiropractor. Just about general health trends maybe that he's been seeing. Let's see, I have on here Phil, and that's Phil Torriello. I'd like to talk with him again. He was the very first podcast that I ever did, but I'd love to follow up with him again. He was instrumental in getting us to be able to go out to Virginia so that Shaylee could compete last summer at the Junior Guards competition, the National Junior Guards competition in Virginia Beach. So that was super fun, and I'd love to talk with Phil again and see what he's up to. Victoria Kromhout runs Nourish by Victoria, and she's a local yoga instructor. I also did a podcast with her. It'd be super fun to follow up with her again. And her husband Al is a yoga instructor as well, and he has some other things that he does on the side. Maybe yoga is the side for him. I'm not sure what his main business is actually. I need to talk with Al again. He's just super awesome human, and it'd be good to speak with him. Let's see, CJ is on here. CJ runs Slow Excursions, and he's one of our para-educators here at the school. Miranda is also one of our para-educators. I'd love to talk with Miranda Thompson and get her input on people with disabilities. She runs Camp Natoma, which is very popular among the local students here. So that would be really cool. I actually put my wife on this list. My wife is a local dental hygienist and has been doing dental hygiene for about 18 years, and she's super knowledgeable about oral health. And I don't always follow her advice, but she's really knowledgeable about it, and it'd be good to talk with her. I have Nate and Mignon on here also, my brother and sister-in-law, who are two of the most physically healthy people that I know. And I'd love to get their inputs. They're both very dedicated and have been for years on their workouts, and they're very inspiring that way. I also have Paul Piet and his wife Elisa on here. Paul is a principal at Grizzly Academy locally in town, and he's just an awesome guy, and I'd love to talk with him. I also have his wife Elisa Piet on my list also, and I'd love to talk with her also. She's a local therapist, and again, just super awesome human being, and very heartfelt conversations with those two, and I'd love to have them on the podcast. I also have Scott Smith on my list here. He has owned Central Coast Surfboards for several years. I don't actually know exactly how long, and my son is working there. And Scott's just got a really great personality, and he knows a ton of people around here in town and kind of knows the surf history, and that would be really fun to get his insights onto the whole surf culture and how that ties in with leading a healthy lifestyle. And then I also have Scott, the chiropractor, and I cannot remember his last name, but he does a lot of the work on my daughter, Shaylee, so that she can continue to operate her running career the best of her ability. And he's young and on fire and has a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, that's kind of my first list as to what I want to do with the podcast and who I'd like to interview. So hopefully you stay tuned and we can have some good conversations. Okay, cool. Just got done with wrestling practice a little bit ago. Went back to the classroom, uploaded my first Healthy Self podcast in a long time. Called it 2019 Collaborations. And I'm gonna head home, probably go over to Mignon and Nate's, do some work over there in the garage, and that's about it. Get a good night's sleep, and then we got the 5K tomorrow. Pier to plunge, baby. Well, I got the podcast out, and now we're gonna go over to Paul and Elisa's house for New Year's Eve. So that should be fun. Yeah, got the podcast out. Pretty stoked about that. So it's about 6 o'clock, New Year's Eve. Dogs are out here. Got to get them for a little walk, then we're headed over to the Piet's. Gonna be a fun little time over there.